Now on Coast TV News.
Vacation rentals frozen.
There never should have been a moratorium.
That is one reaction. What is about to occur in Ocean City, how officials there are preparing to limit the number of short-term rentals.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. We had a pretty gusty cold front that pushed through overnight. We're seeing the last of the showers exit the coast. A bright, breezy Monday, and the latest on a cool, dry stretch of weather to end the week.
Algae action ahead. The challenges South Bethany continues to face and what to expect today, and an update on the town's canal situation.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And it is Monday, October 20th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Melissa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
And we're coming off the weekend. It was a warm mid-October weekend,
gosh,
and now we're dealing with
yeah.
some rain. I'm just hearing it right now.
We can hear it. It was a beautiful weekend. I said Sunday. It almost felt like the summertime, 75 and sunny.
Windows were
It's your
open. Yes,
favorite.
sunny and
I know
75.
You. I know
Good song.
you will. Yes, it was a beautiful weekend. It was a great reward after the rough start of the week we had with weather. And Chris, we're hearing rain right now, so I'm not going to expect Sunday's beautiful weather to carry into today, at least right now.
Good morning, Elisa and Matt. Yeah, it was a spectacular weekend. I mean, we had temperatures in the 70s yesterday. We've had this gusty cold front that actually pushed through overnight. So we're dealing with some residual showers that are beginning to push off the coast here as we take a live look into Dover. 58 degrees there. See the low clouds, dealing with some wet roads out there. The rain, not all that heavy. This is actually post-frontal rain that's moving through Georgetown and approaching Coastal Highway. A lot of this very light in nature. Some moderate rainfall there, just pushing off the Maryland-Delaware border, and we're seeing the last of the showers push through Ocean City. And then we have another light batch of shower activity that has just exited Salisbury, pushing through Plainsfield and Pittsville at this hour. But yes, we had that cold front that pushed through overnight. We had some gusts in the area, upwards of 35, 40 miles an hour. You can see the cold front now pushing off the Delmarva coast. And we actually had a brief window late last night into early overnight where we had a little brief window of potential severe weather. That severe threat has now ended. You can see this area of low pressure lifting up into Canada and some of that wraparound moisture across portions of western portions of Pennsylvania and New York. But we are going to be drying out here over the next few hours. You can see winds out of the west gusting upwards of 11 Millsboro, 17 Indian River Inlet, 20 in Ocean City. Again, we had some gusts overnight upwards of 35, 40 miles an hour in and across Salisbury and Georgetown. We're at 58 in Georgetown, 57 in Milford, 61 Lewis, and we're at 60 in Bethany Beach. So a wet start, at least for the next few hours. I think by sunrise, we'll begin to see the rain push off the coast. Skies will be clearing. We'll begin in the 50s. It will be a breezy afternoon. In fact, sunshine throughout our Monday. We're at 59 by around 11, 64 by around 3, with plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. Highs today only reaching the mid-60s. In fact, it's going to be a breezy start to the week. In fact, we're tracking breezy conditions Monday, breezy conditions Tuesday, and even into Wednesday. But actually, we're going to be a tick milder tomorrow ahead of another cold front that will bring a slight chance of showers overnight Tuesday and the Wednesday. And then we're tracking some really beautiful weather to end the week. Some cool, dry weather. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, thank you, Kristen. We do have some breaking news this morning. Many of the world's biggest apps, including Snapchat, Duolingo, Zoom, Ring, they've gone down. It appears to be an issue affecting Amazon Web Services. According to the BBC, Amazon Web Services powers much of the infrastructure behind many of these apps. So if you're having trouble with your apps, it's not you, it's this outage. And in addition to the apps, banks are apparently also affected by the outage. We'll keep track of this one as the morning continues. Also today in Ocean City, as we move along, the government there is moving closer to keeping short-term rentals in check. Later today, the Ocean City Council will have its first reading of an ordinance that extends the town's current short-term rental moratorium until 2027. Back in January, council members enacted an 11-month pause on handing out licenses for short-term rentals in residential neighborhoods and mobile home areas, banning any new licenses from being issued until January 3rd, 2026. Council now wants to extend that moratorium by a full year, and it's a move not sitting well with some people we spoke to.
There never should have been a moratorium. The facts never called for a moratorium. There are very few problems that exist, and we should work on fixing those. There's bigger problems in this town.
Yeah, Miller there was a leading voice in the recent referendum that reversed the town's short-term rental restrictions. Those rules would have required a 5-night minimum stay and starting in 2025, 31 nights by 2027, and would have applied to all residential and mobile home areas. Mayor Rick Meehan has defended these types of restrictions, saying they help preserve the character of Ocean City's neighborhoods and protect homeowners from excessive rental activity. Council meets Monday night at 6.
And it was just last week the issue of short-term rentals came up in Lewis. It ties into the city's policy on accessory dwelling units, or ADUs. The city says there are several existing ADUs that are being used as short-term rentals. According to the city, those people are breaking the rules because the code states that property owners must live in one of those units. And this summer in Milton, the town council passed an ordinance defining short-term rentals like Airbnbs as residential dwelling units that's to be rented for 30 consecutive days or fewer.
In South Bethany, later today, we should learn more about the town's canal situation. In May, South Bethany looked into a pilot program to address algae in canals. It's a program that would add a product into the water to reduce phosphorus levels. Town's Canal Water Committee is meeting later this morning to review water data and the final draft of a State of the Canals report.
This morning, a 36-year-old Harbison man is facing 4 weapon and drug-related felony charges following a multi-mile car chase. Troopers say they were dispatched Saturday afternoon to a business complex in Harbison for a man who seemed to be under the influence or mentally ill. Delaware State Police say when they approached Ryan Donaker, he drove away erratically and continued to do so for several miles and several roads. Troopers say they finally caught up with him after using stop sticks on Gravel Hill Road, at which point they say Donaker got out of the car with a pepper ball gun, but he dropped it in command. He was committed to Sussex Correctional Institution on a $24,401 secure bond.
And we got another drug-related arrest to tell you about. This one involves a 58-year-old Millsboro man, and according to police, the man, John Bender, was dealing drugs from his house. Troopers say they saw him dealing it at the home on Captain's Way, and after a months-long investigation, Bender was arrested and found with meth.
The Cape Henlopen School District continues to await an answer from state government on its certificate of necessity. The big request is expanding the high school in Lewis. Last year, the district put forth referendums for new work to help meet the needs of a growing enrollment. The referendums were rejected by voters. Cape's new superintendent says the expansion goals are still there, but paying for it is likely several years away.
They're saying right now there's not money in the queue for capital projects for fiscal year 26 or 27. So we put in the CN just to keep our spot in the line, because what we're afraid of is if we take it out, then other districts will pop in and it'll put us to the end of the line when it comes to funding and when we can afford it as a state to start approving capital projects again.
All right, you can hear more on Noman's approach to the district and her views on Delaware's educational ranking during an interview with her tonight on CoastTV News at 6.
Tonight in Dagsboro, people living there could see an increase in some fees. That's if the town council takes action. Here's what they are looking at this Monday meeting. Impact fees. Currently, the town's impact fee is $2,500 for each new residential dwelling unit, and increasing permit fees. All new construction having a value of $300 or more needs a building permit.
Tonight in Lewis, the city is weighing new beach rules, including bonfires. The Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission will review a letter urging a ban on beach bonfires, citing smoke health risks and environmental concerns like hot coals dumped near the bay. And we're just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, beach access update. Which ones are open in Bethany Beach after last week's nor'easter forced several closures?
Also, Delmarva gas price drop as the U.S. is approaching $3 a gallon, what people on the peninsula are paying at the pump.
An FAA approves increase. How much can Boeing manufacture after a door blowout forced a cap on production? And there is First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. He's in the Weather Center, and we check in with him next on CoastTV News Today.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. We are starting off on the wet side this morning. Live look into Salisbury, 56 degrees there. We've seen the last of the showers push through there, so we're dealing with some wet roads out there. Rain for the next hour, but we will see plenty of sunshine through the morning. Temperature about 57 by around 9. You could see some rain, moderate rainfall extending from Slaughter Beach all the way down Coastal Highway through Lewis and Dewey Beach, seeing the last of the showers. And that rain extends southward into Ocean View down through Fenwick Island and Ocean City. We had a cold front, pretty gusty front that pushed through the area overnight, and we had some winds gusting upwards of 40 late last night. Winds right now gusting 22 Georgetown. We're at 17 Indian River Inlet and 20 in Ocean City. Pretty uniform temperature-wise. We're at 56 Harrington, 58 Georgetown, 58 Long Neck, and we're at 60 in Bethany Beach. It was quite a weekend. We had temperatures in the low 70s. Plenty of sunshine ahead of that front that pushed through last night. We were at 75 for a high on Sunday. Now, temperatures today are going to be generally in the mid to upper 60s across the area, but it will be rather breezy. Those winds are going to be gusting upwards of 25 to 35 miles an hour out of the west, and we're expecting plenty of sunshine through the afternoon with, again, those breezy conditions. Now, rain chances over the next 7 days are going to be pretty slim. We have another weak front pushing through Tuesday night. That could spark a few showers. Then we don't have rain till early next week. We'll talk about that 7-day forecast here in minutes. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. In Delaware, the Division of Motor Vehicles says it is now accepting applications from businesses interested in becoming a third-party CDL testing organization. If approved, the organizations conduct skill exams for people applying for a commercial driver's license. The third-party organization will maintain its own basic control skills, site that meets state and federal standards.
Got a heads up for drivers on Route 1 near Milton for the last week of the month. Actually starting today, DelDOT has work scheduled through October 27th. Department says crews will install pavement markings and signs to reconfigure crossovers on Route 1 between Broadkill River and Red Fox Lane. According to DelDOT, this will improve safety by reducing conflict points. During the work, drivers should expect delays due to lane closures. Federal Aviation Administration is giving Boeing the green light to boost production of its 737 MAX jets. The FAA had capped output at 38 planes a month. That followed a door panel blowout on an Alaska Airlines flight in January of 2024. Regulators said Boeing can now increase production to 42 aircraft per month.
Well, the good news is the showers are clearing out. The bad news is we're going to be dealing with some pretty breezy conditions through the afternoon today, but plenty of sunshine. 56 by around 8 a.m. and highs only in the mid-60s this afternoon. We will talk about slightly milder weather tomorrow, as well as a nice dry stretch of weather through the week. We'll break it down right after the break.
5:16 now, and you are looking live at the waves hitting the beach there in Ocean City, and we have First Alert meteorologist Chris Masterbono with us. And Chris, we got some rain going on now, but the good news is, if you like being outside, we got some sun playing later for today.
Oh yeah, we're looking at a beautiful afternoon. We actually had a little window of a brief potential for severe weather late last night and real early this morning, but that threat has since ended, and you could see some moderate rainfall extending from Broadkill Beach through Milton, Mill Pond Acres into Lewis, so a wet commute there along Coastal Highway this morning, and some spotty showers extending right along the Delaware-Maryland border, pushing through Fenwick Island and Ocean City. But you can see really this is the last of the shower activity. We have a few spotty showers there just east of Annapolis, pushing into Kent County, Delaware, but we're drying out kind of post-front showers. There's the cold front that pushed through late last night. We had some gusts in the area, upwards of 35, 36 miles an hour, but no severe weather, thankfully. There's that area of low pressure pushing well up into Canada. You can see all that moisture wrapping around that low. We're at 57 right now in Milford, 58. Redden, we're at 58, Dagsboro, and lower 60s along the beaches, 60 in Ocean City and 60 in Bethany Beach. Winds right now out of the west, gusting 22 in Georgetown, 14 in Millsboro, and we're at 20 in Ocean City. Now we have a coastal flood advisory. This is primary for Back Bay flooding. We had strong southwest winds over the weekend, and we have a few flooding issues lingering into the afternoon through high tide. And then this advisory for Dorchester, Wacomico, that is only up for like another hour or so. So we are dealing with coastal flood advisories there, but then that small cramped advisory is up through this evening, and then along the bay the evening as well. So a wet, damp start in Salisbury with those wet roads, 56 degrees. Plenty of sunshine through the morning, sunrise at 7:16 this morning. Plenty of sun through the morning with those morning showers ending. Winds gusting as high as 25 to 35 miles an hour as the clouds clear. Beautiful afternoon, but breezy and a chilly night. We're going to fall into the low to mid 40s away from the coast early Tuesday, and slightly milder. We'll have southwest winds Tuesday, a breezy, milder day with temperatures around 70, and then yet another cold front pushes through late Tuesday, and that will bring another round of some showers in the wee hours of Wednesday morning. Gusts today, upwards of 29 Seaford to near 35 along the coast. The winds will relax overnight, and then they'll pick up again tomorrow afternoon ahead of that front that'll push through late Tuesday into Wednesday. But Wednesday, we're still breezy behind the front, so it's going to be a rather breezy stretch here over the next 3 days. So there's the spotty showers early Wednesday morning. Pretty much when we're sleeping. We're going to be waking up Wednesday morning to pretty much dry conditions, breezy mid to upper 60s, and then we take a nosedive as far as the temperatures are concerned, right around average on Wednesday. But then as we go into Thursday and Friday, we're going to struggle to get out of the low 60s. High pressure is going to build in Thursday through Friday and really keep us nice and dry through the end of the weekend. We are looking pretty nice for the Sea Witch Festival there in kicking off Friday in Rehoboth. 66 this afternoon. We're at 43 overnight. 72, that's actually going to be the warmest day over the next 7 because you see those highs, lower 60s, 62 into Thursday, and we'll hold lower to mid 60s right through the weekend and staying nice and dry, nice autumn-like stretch there to round out the week. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. In Alaska, videos and photos show dozens of dogs rescued from Alaskan coastal villages and flown to Bethel after Typhoon Halong. Bethel Friends of Canines, a nonprofit animal rescue, has saved more than 70 dogs since Monday after residents in Kipnuk were told to evacuate and leave animals behind. With the help of air services, including Ryanair, Grant Aviation, and Northern Air Cargo, the group chartered planes to fly the dogs about 85 miles to safety. Around 30 dogs have already been reunited with their owners as the organization continues its efforts.
Gas prices are inching lower, and AAA says the current national average price for a gallon of regular gasoline could reach the $3 mark for the first time in 4 years. In the past week, the average has dropped more than 5 cents a gallon to $3.05. AAA is reporting the average price in Delaware is $2.92. It's about 2 cents higher in Sussex County. Maryland's average is $3 a gallon, with the lower shore counties just below that price.
Coming up, storm scene. This is what people in Bethany Beach are seeing after the nor'easter. We have the latest on the beach access situation. Stay with us on Coast TV News today. Last week's nor'easter is keeping Bethany beachgoers away. Take a look at how steep the drop-off is. Several entrances along Bethany Beach have been closed, leaving only a few access points open to the public. And here's what the town is reporting for accessible beaches: Oakwood and Maplewood, Ashwood and Cedarwood, both 4th and 5th Streets. There is handicap access at Ocean View Parkway.
In Ocean City, the Public Works Department is scheduled to continue its hydrant flushing of the water system. According to the town, it will cover several blocks per day, starting on South 1st Street. Public Works personnel are scheduled to perform the hydrant flushing during the late evening hours and early morning hours. With the flushing, discoloration of water could occur, and the department says this is not harmful.
Well, we had a cold front push through early this morning, and we're dealing with some residual showers here along the coast as we take a live look into Ocean City. 60 degrees there, dew point 55. Winds are out of the west at about 10 miles an hour, and we still are dealing with coastal flood advisories for Sussex County for Back Bay flooding through about the high tide cycle at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Small craft advisories for the Delaware coast. Those are up through 2 a.m. with winds upwards of 25 miles an hour. Ocean City down through Assateague, Chincoteague, that runs through about 7 o'clock tonight. Well, aside from the showers over the next hour, we're going to clear out pretty nicely. We're up to 61 by around noon in Ocean City, 62 in Fenwick Island. So a gorgeous afternoon, but a breezy one at that. We're going to see winds gusting upwards of 30, 35 miles an hour out of the west. Lewis, we begin with some showers, but those will be ending through sunrise. We're up to 62 by around noon, 64 by around 5 o'clock. So a beautiful afternoon. Not as mild as where we were at yesterday. Highs today, Cambridge, mid-60s through the afternoon with plenty of sunshine, and then Crisfield as well. A breezy, beautiful day on Delmarva with highs in the mid to upper 60s. We have Robin West, Frankfort, Delaware. You're the winner of our Coast TV weather umbrella. And as always, you get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert weather phone. Coming up in the next half hour, we will talk about some cooler temperatures over the next week and some nice dry weather settling in mid to late week. We'll talk more about that coming up in the next half hour. Elisa.
Still ahead, hot coals concern why Lewis is taking another look at its policy for bonfires on its beaches.
Also, family seeks answers after a Millsboro man was detained during an immigration check-in.
And longer wait for short-term rentals. Ocean City Council is set to talk about extending its moratorium today, and we'll tell you for how long.
Now on Coast TV News.
Short-term standstill when Ocean City is getting closer to enacting in its attempt to restrict short-term vacation rentals.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. We had a pretty gusty cold front that pushed through overnight. We're seeing the last of the showers exit the coast. A bright, breezy Monday, and the latest on a cool, dry stretch of weather to end the week.
Immigration appointment shock. How an asylum seeker who lives in Millsboro is now in a detainment situation.
Smoke sparks controversy. Why Lewis's bonfire policy is getting some pushback.
This is Coast TV News Today.
October 20th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
And we're approaching 5:30 on this Monday morning. We have a rainy start, and if you're just joining us, there is a web outage that's affecting a lot of people worldwide. A lot of the apps that we use, not in use at the moment.
In particular, Amazon is down, but I think somewhere my dad is cheering because that means my mom cannot go on Amazon. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
At least for your dad.
At least for right now. But we're going to switch over to weather. Chris, we've been hearing the rain on and off this morning, but we are coming off of a beautiful weekend. I hope that sunshine comes out at some point today.
Good morning, Elisa and Matt. A pleasant good morning, Delmarva. Yes, we're going to continue the sunshine. We just have about another hour or so as this rain clears the coast. We had a pretty gusty front that pushed through overnight. We're holding at 59 in Ocean City. Dew point 55. Winds are out of the west at about 15 miles an hour. We will see sunshine. That sun rising at 7:16 this morning, and it's going to be a sunny morning with temperatures holding pretty steady in the upper 50s. And we're seeing the last of the shower activity beginning to weaken and push off the coast. So some spotty showers and drizzle extending from Lewis down through Millsboro, Selbyville, and then we have a few showers in the northern portions of the midshore. These are pushing into Kent County, Delaware, and there's the cold front that pushed through overnight, and we're seeing that cool, drier air filter in behind these showers, some post-frontal showers, and then there's that area of low pressure kind of wrapping up and pushing up into Canada. But the winds right now gusting 20 Indian River Inlet, 17 in Salisbury, 20 in Ocean City, and you can see temperatures 57 Milton. We are at 60 in Bethany Beach. So we're looking at the showers coming to an end, sunshine through the afternoon, but it will be a breezy day. In fact, we're going to be breezy over the next 3 days, a tick milder into our Tuesday with temperatures getting into the lower 70s. So we're looking at beautiful conditions once we clear the showers out, but again, quite breezy with those winds gusting upwards of 35 miles an hour. We'll talk more about that extended forecast here in a few minutes. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour. Today, the Ocean City Council will have its first reading of an ordinance that extends the town's current short-term rental moratorium until 2027. Back in January, council members enacted an 11-month pause on handing out licenses for short-term rentals in residential neighborhoods and mobile home areas, banning any new licenses from being used until January 3rd of 2026. The council now wants to extend that moratorium by a full year. Council meets tonight at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, also in Ocean City, the town wants to restrict where bikes and scooters can go. An ordinance would keep bikes and scooters off sidewalks at all times, except for riders under 16 using a non-motorized bike. A first reading of this ordinance creating the ban is also tonight, and one person told us he believes it's a win-win.
Keep them on the sidewalks and not on the streets, and hopefully their parents with them and they maintain their safety. Whatever it takes for the kids, keep them safe.
And the council also plans to discuss restricting skateboards and roller skates from sidewalks and keeping them on the road instead.
Happening today in Lewis, weighing new beach rules, and a longtime condo owner wants bonfires off of the list. Parks and Recreation Commission will review a letter urging a ban on beach bonfires, citing smoke, health risks, and environmental concerns like hot coals dumped near the bay.
At that same meeting, the Parks and Rec Commission will review, potentially take action on a proposed aircraft ordinance. Here's what they're talking about. This would prohibit the takeoff, landing, or launching of aircraft on the beach between the Roosevelt Inlet and the ferry. The ordinance says aircrafts include planes, helicopters, ultralight aircraft, and many other machines that are capable of flight, which we're presuming means drones. If approved as is, the ban would include exceptions for emergencies, for the National Guard, and more.
Happening today, work on the Milton Overpass continues, causing closures on Route 16 in a matter of hours. DelDOT says this will be Monday through Wednesday, overnight from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. to build a bridge for the overpass. That overpass is expected to be finished in spring 2026, according to DelDOT.
A Millsboro man, who we will call Jose for this, was detained after showing up for a routine appointment with immigration authorities, and according to his family, they say the man who had requested asylum was told he was missing documents from when he entered the country in 2022. Documents they say still don't know the details of.
Telemundo Delmarva and CoastTV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman spoke exclusively with Jose and his partner.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás, Marita?
Bien, aquí estamos.
A call home from a processing center. That's a reality for many today, including Jose. His partner, whom we'll call Maria out of fear of retaliation, says she found out about Jose's detention after receiving this photo showing his feet in cuffs following a message she sent asking how his appointment went because she hadn't heard from him.
It saddened me that he's going through this process. This was just an appointment, nothing more, like he's always done since he arrived here in the United States.
Maria says she's had to ask for help to keep going day by day, especially with transportation, since she doesn't drive, and that was something she depended on Jose for.
I'm learning to live like this, adapting to the change, because my son needs a lot of attention. I'm alone with him. Sometimes I feel like I can't do it, but I have to keep going.
CoastTV News spoke exclusively by phone with Jose, who is detained in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, where he says everything is chaotic.
Right now, what I fear most, and some of us here do too, is that it's like a source of infection because there are doctors and all. But they just ask questions. They don't run tests. People come and go. Lately, you hear a lot of people getting sick, coughing through the night.
¿Qué más usted anhela en estos momentos?
My family, that is there with you. And it's frustrating not being able to be with them because you follow your process to avoid cases like this. But still, I'm here, like many others.
Maria says their son smiles when he hears his dad's voice over the phone.
He's always been very loving with my son and gives him lots of kisses and hugs before bed. But now he can't, and I feel like my son is missing that, having his dad here.
Maria adds that Jose came to the United States in search of a better life.
I hope he gets out soon because he doesn't deserve to be there. He's not someone who's harmed anyone.
When and if Jose will be freed is unclear. For now, it's a family anxiously waiting to be together again. In Millsboro, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
And we are told Jose is expected to have his first appearance in immigration court soon.
Moving on, a multi-mile car crash leads to a Harbison man being arrested with cocaine and ice pick and thousands of dollars along with a pepper ball gun. Troopers say they were dispatched Saturday afternoon to a business complex in Harbison for a man who seemed under the influence or medically ill. Troopers say when they approached the driver, he drove away erratically and continued to do so for several miles on several roads. Troopers say they finally caught up with the driver after using stop sticks on Gravel Hill Road, at which point they say the man, identified as Ryan Donaker, got out of the car with the pepper ball gun. He dropped it on command. He was found with the aforementioned items, and troopers say he was arrested.
President Donald Trump says the Gaza ceasefire is holding despite dozens of fatalities during fighting yesterday. Analysts say that violence shows the truth between Israel and Hamas is fragile.
Yeah, they say getting to phase 2 of Trump's Gaza plan won't be possible if the ceasefire in phase 1 doesn't hold. Amy Kiley reports on how the U.S. is responding to the tenuous situation.
You want to go and check on how things are going?
Vice President J.D. Vance says an administration official likely will head to Israel soon. That's after violence between Hamas and Israel in Gaza yesterday.
This ceasefire is basically a bit tenuous.
2 Israeli soldiers are among the dead. Gaza hospitals say more than 40 people died in subsequent airstrikes.
There are going to be fits and starts. Hamas is going to fire on Israel. Israel's going to have to respond.
Vance says the region needs peacekeepers, and several nations are willing to help.
The only problem is those countries don't want to go in when the Israelis are still fighting in the area.
Sources familiar with the plans for a U.S. delegation say 2 officials who helped broker the ceasefire deal might be involved. Their special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, and Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
Hamas right now is doing exactly what you would expect a terrorist organization to do, which is to try to reconstitute and take back their positions. The success or failure of this will be if Israel and this international mechanism is able to create a viable alternative.
A senior Israeli official says Gaza humanitarian aid shipments are continuing today after a pause yesterday.
If Israel doesn't want to continue to punish the actual Palestinian civilians that they say are being, held hostage by Hamas too, then you would not really make aid as a weapon.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And we got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Locals Week in Ocean City will tell you about the free fun at the Life Saving Museum.
Also, birds are back. We got the big-time offensive display that ends the Eagles' slide in winning a 5th game of the season.
And fee hikes on the horizon, why Dagsboro officials are talking about raising costs for new construction. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
Well, I hope your Monday morning is off to a great start. It's a damp start out there. We had some overnight rain, a pretty gusty front that pushed through. We're at 56 in Salisbury. So dealing with some wet roads, the showers have moved out of Salisbury, and we will see those clouds thin out through the morning time frame with temperatures holding in the 50s. There you see the last of the showers pushing off the coast, and we are beginning to see some drying air back off to the west. A few spotty showers there mid-shore. Those are pushing towards Dover, and there's the front. That pushed through overnight, and some cooler, drier air beginning to filter in. Winds right now gusting 20 Indian River Inlet, 20 in Ocean City, and those winds are going to be picking up through the day today. We're at 58 Rehoboth, 57 Georgetown, and 56 in Harrington. Well, it was quite a warm weekend. In fact, we bumped those temperatures into the 70s, 71 on Saturday, 75 Sunday, and after quite a below average stretch of weather there over the last few weeks, and we're going to see plenty of sunshine. In fact, today temperatures getting into the mid 60s, again quite breezy with those gusts upwards of 35 miles an hour. Coming up, we will talk about a milder Tuesday ahead of another cold front in that 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Tonight in Dagsboro, people living there could see an increase in some fees if the town council takes action. Here's what they're looking at tonight. Impact fees. Currently, the town's impact fee is $2,500 for each new residential dwelling unit and increasing permit fees. All new construction having a value of $300 or more needs a building permit.
Rocky times this month for the Eagles. The Birds rolled into October with a 4-0 record and seemingly on track to defend their Super Bowl title. Then they lost their next 2 games. On Sunday, it was a chance to right some of the wrongs with a trip to Minnesota, and they had a date with former QB1 Carson Wentz. Viking fans were out in force. The Eagles had a 7-3 lead early in the second. When Wentz gets belted, the ball ends up in the hands of Jalix Hunt. He is rumbling, 42 yards for a touchdown, making it 14-3 Eagles. Next time Wentz had the ball, he did it again. This time it's Andrew Makuba with the interception. Now we stay in the second quarter. Jalen Hurts had a big game. Fires downfield here to Devontae Smith. He gets away. This is a 79-yard house party for the Eagles. 1 of 3 touchdown passes on the day for Hurts. The Birds snapped their slide with a 28-22 win, and they upped their record to 5-2. Got some trouble for Washington. A big game and big D for Dak Prescott. The Cowboys quarterback threw 3 touchdown passes against the Burgundy and Gold. Washington has doubled up 44-22. They've lost 3 of their last 4. They dropped to 3-4, heading into next Monday night's game at Kansas City. Here's what's coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network. 8 o'clock, we have the Governor's Challenge Selection Show. Then at 10:30, it's the final score. Let's go to the DSM Plus app. You also get the Governor's Challenge Show there, plus these exclusives. 4 o'clock, Delmarva Christian at Delmar, boys soccer. 5 o'clock, you got the Bayside Championship game for girls soccer. 5:30, St. George's at Brandywine, girls volleyball. And at 6:45, boys soccer, Bayside Conference Championship game.
Music and movie news now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
She's very troubled. She's running from this insane past.
Brandy is apologizing for a health scare that caused her to abruptly end a weekend show. The performer posted on Instagram she experienced dehydration and feelings of wanting to faint before leaving the stage in Chicago Saturday night to seek medical attention. She thanked her fans for their love, support, and prayers.
He is lost, and he is desperate.
Walton Goggins has joined the cast of the action thriller Painter, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Amber Midthunder stars as a young woman with a particular set of skills who will need those skills to rescue her kidnapped father. Goggins plays the dad in distress. No word when the film is due in theaters.
Chihiro, we're almost there.
The Hayao Miyazaki classic Spirited Away is back in theaters through Wednesday as part of Studio Ghibli Fest 2025. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com/signup and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, the good news is the showers we had overnight are pushing off the coast and weakening, and we're going to see plenty of sunshine as we make our way through the morning and into our afternoon. Cooler, though, than where we were at yesterday, where we had temperatures in the 70s, only reaching the mid-60s this afternoon. It will be breezy. We'll talk about some breezy days ahead coming up in that full 7-day forecast right after the break.
And we are taking a live look outside at Ocean City this morning. Chris, we are coming off of a beautiful Sunday, 75 degrees outside. I was very happy to be outside in short sleeves. Some people did have winter jackets on. They're a little confused. That's okay, because today it gets cooler again. We're also dealing with some rain. A lot to keep track of.
Yeah, we're in that stretch of weather where, you know, some people are wearing sweaters, some people are wearing shorts, and yeah, the weather's all topsy-turvy. But we had a gorgeous weekend, and we had a pretty strong cold front that pushed through overnight. We're seeing the last of the showers exit the coast. A few residual showers there pushing into Kent County, but drier air filtering back off to the west. There's the cold front just off the coast as this area of low pressure wraps up and pushes off to the northeast. You can see some heavier rains extending through western and central Pennsylvania up through central New York. Right now we're holding at 57 in Milford, 57 Georgetown, we're at 58 Lewis, and 59 in Bethany Beach. We had gusts late last night upwards of 36, near 40 miles an hour in Salisbury, Georgetown. Right now we're seeing gusts anywhere between about 15 to 20, and those winds will be picking up throughout the day today. Now we have a coastal flood advisory for some back bay flooding issues through high tide today. That runs through about 2 o'clock. We've had some strong southwest winds over the weekend, and that is what prompted that. Small craft advisory off the Delaware coast, that's up through 2 a.m. Tuesday, and then from Ocean City down through Chicotee, that runs through 7 o'clock this evening, and we also have one up for the Bay that runs through around dinner time as well. Ocean City coming in at 59 degrees. We're seeing the last of the showers. Skies will be clearing through the morning, and we're looking at plenty of sunshine through the day today. Highs around 64 in Milford, 66 Georgetown. We'll see 66 Denton, 66 in Salisbury, to 68 in Chicotee. So there's the clouds clearing out. We're looking at a mostly sunny afternoon, a starry night, chillier by tomorrow morning. We're beginning, many of us, in the low to mid 40s, and milder tomorrow afternoon. Notice the southwest wind flow. We're going to get those temperatures back up into the lower 70s, and then we'll see another cold front push through. But this doesn't happen until overnight Wednesday. Most of us will be sleeping. We'll be dealing with a late round of showers through early Wednesday morning. There's those gusts today out of the west, upwards of 25, 35 miles an hour. Southwest winds tomorrow, gusts upwards of 30. So it's going to be a rather breezy stretch here over the next 3 days with dealing with these cold fronts. And then we're looking at winds gusting upwards of 25 into Wednesday. There's the cold front. Few spotty showers, not expecting anything severe early Wednesday morning, but by daybreak, those showers are off the coast, and we're looking at a rather dry, cool stretch of weather. After hours 72 on Tuesday, seasonable temperatures Wednesday, and then we're going to be in the low 60s into the end of the week. High pressure builds in, maybe some morning frost there on Friday. We'll have to keep an eye on that. 66 for this afternoon, sunny skies, 43 overnight. Chilly start, 72, and tomorrow is actually going to be the mildest day over the next 7. A really nice dry stretch of weather through late week, and we are looking at temperatures in the low 60s through Friday, looking really nice for Sea Witch there, kicking off on Friday.
That is some good news. Thank you, Chris. Ocean City Museum Society is inviting locals to take part in their annual week happening now through the 26th. During the week, admission will be free for Delmarva, people who live on Delmarva, at both the Ocean City Life Saving Station Museum and the Museum of Ocean City. Celebration kicks off with a Station 4 tour today at 10 a.m. at the Life Saving Station Museum. Visitors can travel back in time to learn about the storm warriors and the history of the United States Life-Saving Service.
The time is now 5:52, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day. Actually, pets of the day.
Yeah, we got a couple here. We got 2 small pups with their big personalities. On your screen are Purdy and, love this name, Elisa, Sassy Pants. As you can tell just from their names, these dogs keep their family on its toes. Yeah. Purdy and Sassy Pants were submitted to us by Linda in Frankfurt.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Yeah, scan that QR code at the top, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. It is that time of year, and we aren't talking about fall. Talking about respiratory virus season, and when the threat of viruses like COVID-19, the flu, or RSV looms across the country, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they expect a similar number of peak hospitalizations this season as last, but to hopefully avoid serious illness, vaccine recommendations again play a key role. Aside from vaccines, other preventative measures we've all heard still stand against respiratory viruses, and that includes frequent hand washing and hand sanitizing.
Well, the showers we dealt with overnight are coming to an end. That is good news, and we're going to continue the sunshine we had yesterday. Not as warm, and we were in the mid-70s yesterday. I felt pretty good. Yeah. So we're looking at temperatures getting up into the mid-60s this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. It will be rather breezy with temperatures getting into the mid-60s, those gusts upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour, and we are looking at 72 by our Tuesday, so looking very nice there. And then we're looking at a chance of showers late Tuesday into Wednesday. This is kind of when we want the rain overnight while we're sleeping. Yeah. And then we're looking at drier, really nice conditions to end the week, and looking very nice right now for Sea Witch. Temperatures in the low 60s.
Sounds good, Chris. We were wondering if Matt was going to go to the beach yesterday. 75 is like summertime. Did you make it there?
I didn't. I had some things I had to do.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well,
and it's not once we hit October.
I know you're done. You're done with summer.
It's done until next year. All right. Thank you, Chris. And as we move along here, what's ahead? Well, we'll tell you. Ocean City Council could put a longer pause on short-term rentals. We have how long council is looking to extend this moratorium. All that and more when Coast TV News Today returns.